They are accusing Democrats of saying we spend too much. For anyone that wants to entertain that thought, I ask you to think about the last time a person has said in this country that the government does too much for them, that their Social Security check was too high, that teachers are paid too much. When was the last time anyone has heard or seen that?
Welcome back to MAGA News Central. If you enjoy congressional hearing breakdowns, exposing media narratives, and covering the biggest political battles happening in Washington, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Now let's dive into one of the most revealing exchanges we've seen in Congress, because what started as a routine discussion about government spending quickly turned into a battle over the future of America itself.
Another quote. President Biden already lowered the deficit by $1.7 trillion. They say his budget would cut the deficit by another $3 trillion by eliminating wasteful spending on big oil and pharma, we're told. But it is in fact our Democratic colleagues who prefer to maintain their massive subsidies for the elites and the wealthy in their so-called Inflation Reduction Act just last year. My friend from New York, Ms. Ocasio-Cortez, said, quote, "I ask you, think about the last time a person has said in this country that the government does too much for them. When was the last time anyone has heard or seen that?" I'll say it. I'll say it right here. I don't want the government doing most of the things that the government is doing to interfere with the ability of the American people to carry out their lives. Federal, state, and local. When was the last time you had a bureaucrat show up and you said, "Oh joy, thank you. I'm really glad there's a bureaucrat here"? When was the last time you were thankful for $32 trillion in debt, $100,000 almost for every man, woman, and child in America? Anybody thankful for $32 trillion in debt? Anybody? Anybody thankful for a border that's wide open being exploited by cartels while fentanyl comes in and kills our children? Everybody thankful for that Department of Homeland Security that doesn't actually secure the homeland? Everybody thankful for an FBI that went after Scott Smith and labeled him a domestic terrorist for daring to defend his daughter in a school board meeting because she was assaulted in a bathroom? Anybody thankful for the IRS knocking on your door, auditing the poor and the minorities 3 to 5 times more? People thankful for that? Are you thankful for the EPA or the Department of Interior that sent a man to prison because he had some ponds on his ranch in Montana? We have a government that is weaponized against the American people and is undermining our liberties, and they want more of it. My colleagues on the other side of the aisle want more government. They want more taxes. They want more spending. They want more bureaucrats knocking on your door.
The discussion began with Democrats defending government programs and arguing that Americans benefit from federal spending. The argument was familiar. Government provides Social Security, government funds schools, government supports various public services, and therefore, critics of government spending are supposedly out of touch with what ordinary Americans want. The implication was clear. If government helps people, why would anyone want less government? For supporters of expanded federal programs, the answer seemed obvious: more investment, more spending, more federal involvement, more solutions. But Chip Roy wasn't buying it, and that's where things got interesting. Because, instead of debating individual programs, Roy challenged the entire premise of the argument. He shifted the conversation from what government promises to what government actually delivers. And once he did that, the debate changed completely. Roy's response focused on accountability. He essentially asked a simple question: if Washington is doing such a great job, why are so many major problems getting worse? Think about it. The national debt continues climbing. Border security remains a major political battle. Americans routinely express frustration with federal agencies. Trust in government institutions has fallen dramatically over the years. Roy's point wasn't simply about one policy, it was about results. How much bigger can government get before Americans start demanding proof that all this spending and bureaucracy are actually solving the problems they were created to fix? That question immediately shifted the conversation, because now the debate wasn't about intentions, it was about performance. And that's where defenders of big government often find themselves on uncomfortable ground. This is the moment many viewers may have missed. The argument wasn't really about dollars and cents. It was about power. Who should make decisions? Washington bureaucrats or American citizens? Roy argued that every expansion of government carries consequences. More regulations, more control, more spending, more dependency on federal institutions, and eventually, less freedom for individuals to make choices for themselves. Meanwhile, supporters of larger government argue that federal programs provide stability, opportunity, and protection. So, what we're witnessing is a collision between two completely different visions of America. One side believes solutions come from Washington. The other believes many of America's problems are caused by Washington itself. And that philosophical divide is exactly why these debates become so intense. Quick question for everyone watching. Do you think the federal government has become too large, or do you believe Washington needs even more authority to solve the country's biggest challenges? Drop your answer in the comments below. I have a feeling this comment section is going to be very interesting. And if you're enjoying this breakdown, hit the like button. It helps more people discover the channel and join the conversation. Now let's continue. Here's why this exchange matters. Because the same argument shows up in almost every major issue facing the country. Taxes, healthcare, education, energy policy, border security, government spending, inflation. Every one of these debates eventually comes back to the same question. Should government have more control or less? That's why moments like this resonate with millions of Americans. People aren't just choosing policies. They're choosing a vision for the future. A vision of how much influence Washington should have over their daily lives. And judging by the intensity of this exchange, neither side appears willing to back down anytime soon. At the end of the day, this wasn't just another congressional argument, it was a glimpse into the ideological battle shaping modern America. AOC and her allies defended the idea that government remains an essential force for solving problems and supporting citizens. Chip Roy pushed back with a different warning. That bigger government often means bigger debt, bigger bureaucracy, and less accountability. Whether you agree with Roy or not, one thing is undeniable. His questions forced the conversation away from promises and toward results. And that's exactly why exchanges like this continue to capture national attention. What do you think? Did Chip Roy make the stronger argument? Or did supporters of bigger government have the better case? Let us know below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. This is MAGA News Central, and we'll see you in the next one.